Here is an explanation for the answer to final exam question number 86 in Alternative Energy Demystified, 2nd edition. If you have the printed book, you'll find it on page 330. We're talking here about compact fluorescent lamps. You know those things, CFLs. They're like, they look like an incandescent bulb, a lot of them, and some of them don't. I'll show you one in a minute that doesn't. You can recognize, if you find one of these things with this curly Q sort of a configuration, it's a compact fluorescent. Some of them, they look just like regular soft white incandescent bulbs, and they shine just about the same way too, but they take up a lot less electricity, and they also last longer, and they cost somewhat more as well, but in the long run they actually will save you money, because the electricity that they saves you more than the additional costs that you pay up front for them. I like them, actually. I have quite a few of them in my house, although I'm gradually replacing them with LED, light-emitting diode type lamps. That's just a little aside, but they're known for the fact that they what? Do they produce relatively little light in general? Well, no. You can find them that'll produce up to the equivalent of 100 or even 150 watt incandescent light bulb, but they only consume a great deal less power, only about 1/5 to 1/6 as much power as an incandescent to produce the same amount of light. Are less efficient than any other lamp type? Well, that's not true. Incandescents are the least efficient known lamp type. How about C? Do they present a cleanup inconvenience if you break them? Yes, they do, and the reason for that is that they contain mercury, and you need to take certain precautions in order to protect the environment and your own health if you break one. You don't want to break these things if you can possibly avoid it. So that is the answer. The answer to this question is choice C. Let's look at the others. Produce almost no heat. Well, they do produce some. They're not almost entirely heat free. I don't know of any bulb that's completely heat free. I know that the LED, light-emitting diode light bulbs, do not produce as much heat for the amount of light that they give off as any other type that I know of that you can commonly get. CFLs are pretty close behind. They don't get as hot as incandescents, but they still do produce heat. E, cost less to buy? Well, no, that's not true. If you buy a 15-watt incandescent lamp or a 15-watt CFL, you're going to get a lot more light for the CFL, but you're also going to spend more money. So let's actually look. There's the giveaway, this curly Q thing here. If you see one of these, you know that is a compact fluorescent, and you also know that you definitely do not want to break this. And you want to be careful when you dispose of it too. If you can read this, I don't know if you can read this print unless maybe you have a large screen. But it says contains mercury. Dispose according to local, state, or federal laws. Well, that's because in the trash they're likely to crush them, and you don't want that mercury to be released where you don't want it to go. I don't know how much mercury these things actually contain. Someone told me recently that one of these things contains less mercury than a can of tuna fish. I don't know if I believe that. I think these things probably have more mercury than that, but I really don't know. So if anybody does know, send me an email. sciencewriter.net is my website, and you can send me an email and tell me how much mercury is in one of these. But some of them have a secondary glass shell over them, so they're harder. If you do drop one, it's less likely to break this element which contains the mercury. But once again, the correct choice for this question is choice C. They do present a cleanup inconvenience if you break one of them, and you also need to dispose of them properly.